Hi friends, Kiela here. Uh, this morning, what I want to talk to you about is actually for probably younger attorneys, and it has to do with what kind of lawyer you're going to show up as, what kind of person you're going to be when you are advocating for your clients and showing up in court and dealing with opposing counsel and so forth. So here's I guess the thought, the sentiment. Do not mistake being an asshole for good lawyering. Okay, that's really it. That is, the most important thing. There are very, very few circumstances where aggressive behavior, rude behavior, really just kind of being generally obnoxious is going to further your interest or those of your client. And in fact, quite the opposite. As a general rule, there are lots and lots of good reasons to behave with professionalism, civility, kindness either. Understand that kindness does not mean weakness. You can be firm, you can be strong, you can be pushing a hard message and still be kind. You can be compassionate and still be a strong, good lawyer. And in fact, when you show up that way, when you carry yourself that way, when you make it your mandate to behave with professionalism and kindness and compassion and strength as well. You obviously need to be assertive. You obviously need to protect your client's interests as well as your own. When you show up that way, how do I say this? You establish a degree of credibility and power, personal power, that is so incredibly valuable, and it just builds and grows and gains momentum over the years. And the other side of that is that attorneys who choose to do the opposite, choose to terrorize opposing counsel, choose to pursue frivolous arguments on the hope of some kind of gain that they're probably not entitled to, but maybe can get because the judge that they're dealing with doesn't know the law. Opposing counsel is easily intimidated, or maybe just off their game this week because they have a sick child at home. I don't know. But, this kind of behavior also gains its own momentum and is not going to serve you or your clients well in the long run. So that's my public service announcement for today. And it was prompted by dealings that I've had real recently with, yes, an opposing party in a protective order action that honestly has me, for the first time ever in my career, I am considering making, actually it's a counter motion for sanctions and maybe even filing a grievance. I don't like to do that. I don't like to go after other attorneys, but it is I've come to the conclusion that this particular attorney is probably sharpening his claws on kind of working on a new strategy for going after other attorneys in basically what's a money-making scheme, extorting money out of them, threatening to pursue sanctions with no basis in the law. So that's kind of where I am. So I am having to think about that. I'm going to chew on that over the next couple of days and decide, how I want to respond, because this is just not something I normally want to get my hands dirty with. But I feel like it's almost a public service to slap him down. Now that I've done the research, because he filed this motion, and now that I'm actually having to chew on the law and realize how far off field he's gone, the fact that he's filed a frivolous pleading, he's made false statements to the court, both in written pleadings as well as in open court this morning, and all of that's provable. And yeah, I kind of feel like it's what I need to do. And assuming that I prevail, and I mean, really, given the law, the status of the law, I feel like I can't help but prevail. I may feel it necessary for the first time in my career to file a grievance against another attorney. So that's the kind of thing that, a real consequence that this type of aggressive maneuvering could lead to. I don't like to tangle with other attorneys. I don't like to go after other attorneys. But I do feel like this attorney needs to be reined in. He's behaving in a way that's egregious, unethical, and I almost feel like it's my duty to stop him because I see where this is going. So that's it. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. This was an interesting experience, and I'm actually grateful for it because it caused me to dive into an area of the law that I previously had had no reason to, and now I have a really good understanding of it. And there's no way I can be bullied or intimidated. I mean, it's hard to do that with me anyway, but obviously, once I understand the law that this type of action is based on, it's even harder. So that's all. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.